Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hope I'm smiling better for you today. It is, as I look at the calendar, May 9th, 2014. I nearly said March with that dreaded winter out of the way. This has been the most beautiful, well, spring day, but it feels like summer. And I don't even need anything besides the good old officer's shirt of the British People's League. Many a fine man wore this shirt during Canada's secret Civil War, 1978 onwards. So I hope you're fine today and the weather's treating you well as well. Topic for today, Dinosaur News. Dinosaur News brought to you by the British People's League. Topic for today, underground. We've yapped in the past about undergrounds needed. That past 3 days where the internet was out really had this boy thinking. Scouring the internet with dozens of talk shows and blog shows and you name it, they're all out there. But people still isolated. Many people in the blog shows are hundreds of miles apart. What this boy aims to do is to get you in the mood to talk serious with your best friend. Your best friend must have these views or you wouldn't be watching these shows. Talk serious with your best friend and then your best friend's best friend. So 3 of you. There's a cell which works good in underground terminology, except 3 or more persons is a conspiracy. However, if you're not talking illegality, it's not a conspiracy, it's just a get-together. So we're going to start out with Winston Churchill, Sir Winston Churchill. Check it out on Google, as I said the other day. British resistance that he formed, the plans for, as the invaders of the Second World War came closer and closer to the mainland. I mean, they occupied the Channel Islands. Our cities are occupied. I suppose it would be a real national emergency if the foreign gods were to call into activity those multicolored invaders in the motherland or Australia or Toronto, Montreal, the big cities. By that I mean if the orders are coming for activity from outside of Canada and if the armed forces aren't protecting our peoples, we have to have something in reserve, an underground, a legal underground. So we can't go as far as Churchill, whereby Churchill talked of an armed resistance. Well, we can't talk about the arms because that would not be legal at this point in time. There will come a time down the road when perhaps a good government, I consider Harper a good government, and down the road things get wild, it'll be good to have an underground in place. Then the government of the day may very well supply arms to the underground when it's nearly too late. Isn't that throughout history? When it's nearly too late, the people have to take a hold of things. And I'm not talking a prep show here. What do they call it? Preppy show. There's a great guy in Britain, Tom Linden, L-I-N-D-E-N. He has a preppy show, and it's good. Talks about, you know, the supplies and everything. But I compare it to my history model. People are the preppies. Not the canned goods, but people. We've got to get people in touch with one another. So I'd like you to think very seriously about talking to your friends. Well, have them watch this video. And then the types that say, well, things aren't that bad. That Beattie guy is an extremist, an alarmist. Things aren't that bad. Well, as the poster behind me says, open your eyes, immigration, open your eyes. If people can't see that we've been invaded, the major cities, Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, in the motherland, Bradford, Birmingham, Bristol, you name it, London, the capital itself, Sydney, Australia is turning color. If people deny things are that bad, then please, I beg you, I implore you, don't consider them for an underground structure. And again, have them watch this video. We're not talking with arms. We don't have arms, and we don't mean to get any. We just mean to have a secret cell system in place. Yes, a network with 3, 4, 5, no bigger than 5 or 6 of your friends in one particular area of listenership of these YouTubes. And then, of course, we'd have an international network for those of British stock around the globe. And a national network, a cell structure. So that with this in place, if there's any shocking surprises, out and out invasion by God knows who, although we already have been invaded by the multi-cults. We don't want to be caught off guard. So having a cell structure in place, and then the national network would be in touch with the cell structure. We'll worry about canned goods later. We can borrow canned goods if we have to. Worry about that later. We've got to have people as our canned goods. People who agree ahead of time. That's going to be the major hurdle. Bypassing the podcast, the hopeless voting. Things have got to be put in a higher scale. Families intermarrying with multi-cults, it works. We've got to get moving here. Maybe when our international or national or local network of cells gets pretty good and solid, then we can be a lobby force, a legal lobby force, with plans down the road. That 3 days off the internet taught me. I had a couple of people drop by today, different times. Again, that's people to people. It's better than listening to a dozen strangers on a chat room on the internet. The time for educating is done. You've got a best friend. Most of us have at least one. Maybe not more than one in this day and age, but at least one. And that person has a best friend. So honestly, if you put yourself to it, I think it wouldn't be that difficult to build up a cell. If cell sounds secretive, well, too bad. I personally would suggest and recommend the word cell because it makes one think that there is danger afoot. Or again, look up Sir Winston Churchill on the internet and British resistance. We're being invaded, but the motherland more so. There's no other option. Check out history. Cell structures have to be in place. As Alexander Solzhenitsyn said, wouldn't it be nice if we had something organized so that when the NKVD came to pick us up or bury us secret police, instead of cowering and heading out to the labor camps, the slave camps, wouldn't it be nice if we used a poker or a bread knife to stick it to the secret servants, the secret creeps, the secret spy network? Wouldn't it be nice if there was resistance? If every household resisted, then the slave camps may not have taken place. But again, I'm saying we can't be armed. Oh no, we can't talk about arms. But we can have the cell structure in place. And we can all be evasive. We can all say, oh no, we'll just keep talking on the internet. We'll just keep having successful conferences each year. On and on, the same talk for the past decades. Meanwhile, our cities have become invaded by foreign forces. I want you to think about that very seriously. And you'll notice that some days the videos are cut in half to stress a point. I have to think about that. Just keeping it on focus for a major point each video. Some days we may be able to talk about it longer. So just to review. We've yapped about undergrounds in the past, but not just needed, a must. You start by discussing with your number one closest friend. Get together with her friend or his friend to discuss legally Churchill's plan for British resistance if the motherland islands are taken over or our cities, which they have been. Channel Islands were taken over during the war. Get a circle going for survival when things hit the fan. Maybe you'd feel more comfortable calling it a circle. What to discuss? A good, safe meeting place if there's a national emergency or even a local emergency with you and your friend. Yes, I'm saying separate and apart from whatever the government supplies in emergencies. I'm saying that friends of the British People's League, you're not committed to anything. You're just watching a YouTube video, harmless. But if you're friends of the British People's League, I would like you to entertain the thoughts of having our own cell system network, apart from the government, our own cell interlocking network, along with our friends in the motherland, our patriot friends in Australia and New Zealand. And again, if you have to educate a person as to what's going on, I would delete that person as a serious person for the underground. If someone doesn't know about our cities being invaded, then there's not much use. They're not much use for and to our British race. It's too late for educating. We've got thousands out there who are educated, frustrated. Let's have a serious plan of action here, though. This is our serious plan of action. Just talking to friends, forming a circle, a network. Instant contact. So you'd have instant contact, physical contact, in time of a quick emergency. You can't count on the government, let them do their thing, but we can put our program into practice. Whether it's the next ice storm or whatever. If nothing else, at least we can have a network in place. Who knows? Down the road, a legal lobby force, a network in place, a cell structure. Who knows what it could accomplish? I think you get my point. It's your homework for the weekend, folks. Talk to Aunt Martha. Talk to Uncle George. Talk to that young radical nephew of yours. He's radical and he knows the score. Let's get him into the cell structure. This isn't a joke. This isn't something I read out of Reader's Digest. This is yours truly talking with decades of experience watching our peoples being flooded. And it's the best solution that I can suggest for the British People's League friends. Tried all the others. Tried the works. Meeting halls. Tried it. You name it, we've tried it over the years. As I'm going through the files, building up the manuscript for the book, I'm just amazed at things that have been tried. Back of a restaurant, they were good Greeks, back of a Greek restaurant. 1987, a Christmas party, but it was a great get-together of different groups. But you know, all the different viewpoints. All has been tried. But the one thing that has not been tried by our peoples since Winston Churchill's days is an underground cell circle network. Okay? So I'd really think that you might consider it. That's really the topic for today. So we'll be back at you on Monday, May the 12th. Thanks for tuning in today. Have yourself a good weekend. Signing off, Dinosaur News for May the 9th. We'll be back at you on Monday, May the 12th. Bye for now.